I think there are three things we need to decide. That Australia is a fundamentals are very strong. They do not play for a club cricket. They do not focus for IPLs. They focus for their form, and the form investment. They don't have brands. But at the same time, throughout for the last 10 match, Indian team has dominated the cricket in all the aspect, bowling, batting, everything. Well, the turning point was Virat Kohli's wicket. It was a hard luck, unlucky wicket.
Absolutely, and also, you know, when Australia were 3 wickets down, one was hoping that more and more wickets are going to fall, but you have to appreciate the way Travis Head has played. That century from him really changed the match. Marnus also seeing at the other end runs being scored. That was really the difference between India and Australia at this point. More and more people here who, of course, have a dejected look on their face. What would you say about the match, sir, today?
I think the batting itself, the way I felt we played a bit defensive.
बैटिंग की है तो शायद इस वजह से हमारा कुछ हो गया. अदरवाइज अब चेस तो ही जीतते, पर फिर भी मैं इसको यही कहूंगी. नहीं, ऐसा तो नहीं है. देखो, विराट कोहली ने सारे मैच सारे जीते हैं हमारी इंडियन टीम में. दुख जरूर है कि आज हम वर्ल्ड कप नहीं ले पाए, कि हमारी ही इतनी अच्छी टॉस जीतते तो हम जरूर जीतते. मैंने आपको बताया ना, ठीक है, कभी लक नहीं साथ दिया तो कह सकते हैं, पर एंड में तो यही कहेंगे कि हमें दुख तो बहुत है कि आज हम वर्ल्ड कप अपना नहीं ले पाए हैं. लेकिन ठीक है.
निपुण, मुझे लगता है कि टॉस से फर्क पड़ता है. अगर टॉस इंडिया जीता होता तो उन्होंने पक्की बात है चेज करना प्रेफर किया होता. पहले वो फील्डिंग करते हैं, बिकॉज चेज इंडिया ने आज तक हमेशा बेटर किया है एज कम्पेयर टू पहले बैटिंग से. बाकी कुछ हद तक फील्डिंग तो लूज है ही एज कम्पेयर टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया. बाकी उन्होंने मेहनत तो पूरी की है इंडिया ने, वो तो कहेंगे ही. मुझे लगता है कि एक तो थोड़ा जो मॉइस्चर या उसको सर्कमस्टांस से लेके चल रहा है इंडिया, वो उन्होंने साथ नहीं दिया. एटमॉस्फेयर है, ठीक है, बॉल स्पिन नहीं करी. बाकी उसके अलावा मेरे को लगता है कि फील्डिंग लूज थी, फील्डिंग टाइट होनी चाहिए थी. उस वजह से काफ़ी रन्स जो बचा सकते थे इंडिया, वो नहीं बचा पाया. बाकी बैटिंग लाइनअप में तो किस्मत की बात होती है, हर बार चले, यहाँ नहीं चल पाए. टॉस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था. टॉस अगर इंडिया जीतती तो आई थिंक पक्की बात है वो फील्डिंग प्रेफर करते हैं फर्स्ट एज कम्पेयर टू बैटिंग.
हाय सर, मेरा नाम शालिनी है. आज का मैच जैसा भी रहा आप सबके सामने ही है, बट एनीवेज वी आर रियली प्राउड ऑफ इंडिया.
Arunil, Team India after a stellar run, 10 on 10, but can we call them chokers?
Well, definitely not, Priya. Basically, this is how sport is. You have your extreme highs, you have your moments with you. Unfortunately, there are lows as well, and one bad day in office doesn't make you a bad team altogether. This is a team basically during the entire league stages, it dominated, and how it dominated, it basically also decimated the same Australian side in the very first game that they played of this World Cup. So one bad day in office doesn't make Rohit Sharma's team a very below par team. But yes, today the Australians were clearly a better prepared side. That's what we would like to put it up. But this team definitely will go down into history books. Just like Saurav Ganguly's team is always been spoken about, that how it was a very strong team in 2003. Unfortunately, that time also it had lost to the Australian side. Would you agree with us? A very dominant side, very unfortunate, one bad day in office.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. We are with the Indian team. See, Australia, they had nothing to lose because they already lost a couple of games. We did not lose in this tournament at all, so the pressure was on us. And let's say we tried our best. The toss was also very...
Certainly was a very instrumental factor in this. The reason for that is when the dew came in the second half, the ball was not doing that much. The spinners were also finding it very, very difficult. We'll not speak about the technicalities of the match. Firstly, we'll speak about this team, what they have achieved for you fans, the India fans, what it has achieved for you guys.
I think really India, actually until now India played extremely well, and we were very proud of Indian team. And today is a very bad day for us because we lost a couple of wickets, crucial wickets of Virat Kohli and Shreyas Iyer. That was a crucial wickets for India. We lost it at that very bad time, in fact. So it's a really heartbreaking one. We can't stand this one. We lost this match.
All these fans basically have travelled from different parts of India. Many of them travelled from abroad as well. This was the biggest match, and unfortunately the wait continues now. This is what is very, very unfortunate. 2011 World Cup victory. After that, there was a 2013 Champions Trophy win, which can be seen as a significant moment in India's cricket history with respect to limited overs cricket. Now, this was the big moment. But fans, how do you feel about it? Basically, everybody was so pumped up. Everybody was so hoping that we are going to win over here. One bad day in office, as well as it happens in a tournament like this. Generally you have one bad day, but unfortunately it was the final for India.
As you said, it is absolutely right. It was just one bad day in the office. The Indian team put their 100% effort on. We believe that they put the 100% effort on this match. It didn't go well for the team as a whole. This is one of the best teams which we have seen in our lifetime watching cricket, and we hope our Indian team will continue the same moving forward. This is just one bad day.
Probably this is the last time. This may be the last World Cup that Rohit Sharma certainly is playing his last World Cup. At least it looks like. Virat Kohli also. It looks like, considering he definitely has agility, he has fitness on his side. But the best chance for this superstar duo of Indian cricket.
Yes, exactly. But I agree with Rohit Sharma, maybe, yeah. But Virat Kohli is maintaining his fitness, so we can expect to see him probably next World Cup as well. One point that I have to add is this team is going to grow stronger and stronger. Yes. So there's no way that we, next World Cup, we will be a dominant team, and I think they will give us good news in the next team.
I would like to put it only in.
Anybody can come. If Mohammad Shami can come back, if Mohammad Shami can come back,
from his personal battles, how he was not included in the team also, because after Hardik Pandya's injury, he was included, and the way he fought back.
Even Bumrah, after so many injuries, he came back. So if Bumrah and Shami can come back, then
it's quite heartening, Arunil, to see that Indian fans are still positive in their outlook. Gone are the days when we would see Indian fans out on the streets, posters would be burnt. We have also seen instances when cricketers' houses were pelted. But it shows an overall change in the way Indian fans, as well as the cricket, has changed in what we are now hearing the fans saying out on the street. And in the meantime, you've got Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was also present in the ground watching the match. He's tweeted, "Congratulations to Australia on a magnificent World Cup victory. Theirs was a commendable performance through the tournament, culminating in a splendid triumph. Compliments to Travis Head for his remarkable game today." Joining me on the broadcast are also my guests, Bimal Soni, former manager of Indian cricket team, and Karan Ambardar, sports analyst. Bimal Soni, did India get outsmarted? Or was it just a bad day?
I think so. Today was a bad day for India. And it was a bad day. India was a very balanced and a good side. And I am not surprised, because they played so well in the 10 matches. They had to have a bad day. And unfortunately, it came in the final.
Right. In fact,
we did not get a good partnership between the two.
Okay, Karan Ambardar, do you think Team India peaked too early? Sir, you're on mute. If you could please unmute yourself.
In the words of Mohammad Azharuddin, I think the boys had a great campaign. It's just a bad day. couple of bad decisions here and there in terms of batting and bowling. But I think the Indian cricket team has had a great campaign. For me personally, I don't think the loss is hurting so much because the brand of cricket that they have played across this 1 month has been fabulous. I mean, the way they have dominated the World Cup up until the finals was something that, as a fan, I really enjoyed watching it. So, yes, it's a sad day. Law of averages catching up with us. We were unbeaten and we lost at the final hurdle. But congratulations to the Indian cricket team. It's going to hurt a few of them as they will not be, some of them will not be a part of the next World Cup. So, tough luck. Bad day for us.
What do you make of Travis Head's innings?
I think he played fabulous cricket under pressure. Scoring a century in the final is a big thing. I think he's joined an elite club. There are hardly any 6 or 7 players who have scored a century in the finals of the World Cup. So kudos to him. Great innings. Pitch wasn't easy earlier on for batting. The ball was moving around. They were down 3 wickets, and how they stitched up a 100-plus partnership was a great display of mental strength. And I think Australia started peaking once they beat Afghanistan. That win actually pumped them up and changed things for them. And they're Australians. They're very tough. And you give them a little hint or whisker somewhere here and there. They've got to grab onto it and ensure that, they make the most of it. Well played, Australia. Great campaign.
Bimal Soni, everybody is wiser in hindsight, but if you were to change a couple of decisions, would you do that when it comes to Team India's strategy in the match today?
Well, I would say that depends on what they think, because the bowling was doing very well. And what has failed us today, as I said earlier on, is a good partnership between 2 people. And this should have been a score of 300 plus, which ended up at 240. And that is the reason we have had this collapse, or this loss, I would say. At the same time, as my friend had said, law of averages also caught us with us. And we were doing so well. Ultimately, we faltered at the wrong time.
Right. I will come back to you about the role that different team members have played, including the back-end staff. But unfortunately, there is politics that is playing on the sidelines of the World Cup match. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was present at the stadium, and as Team India lost that match, there are several leaders in the opposition who have been trying to give it a political spin. Deepak, my colleague, joins us from the newsroom. Deepak, what are these reactions?
Right, Priya, after India went down fighting, Manikam Tagore has penned a tweet and he has blamed Prime Minister Modi for India's defeat. Let me read out the tweet for our viewers. India wins when Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi. 1983 ICC World Cup was won. Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, 2007 T20 World Cup won, 2011 ODI World Cup won. India lost when Prime Minister was Narendra Modi.
Right now, while there might be attempts to assign blame where it does not belong, Bimal Soni, if you were to point out 3 things today when Team India goes back to the dressing room, when they start planning the course ahead, what would those 3 things be?
Well, as I said, they have to plan better as far as the batting is concerned. And we were overconfident this time, and couple of people have not played well in this series. Some of them did not even get a chance. I'm talking of first 3 did so well that 4, 5, 6 did not get the necessary chance to pick up. I'm talking of the batting lineup. At the same time, as I said, today was a day where India had to falter. And this is law of averages in cricket. I've been playing cricket for 45, 50 years. And it does catch up with you someday. And it was unfortunate that it happened in the World Cup final.
Karan Ambardar, do you agree? Australia has been there 8 times. They don't falter. Mostly.
I mean, that's something that we've been discussing for a while. We've been losing in the semi-finals quite a bit. We lost in the finals today, but that's okay. I repeat, as a fan today, I am disappointed, but you have to congratulate this team. The performances that have stood out, and I will, at some level, I will not agree with Sir over there. Number 4, 5, and 6, number 4 and 5 actually batted very well. The amount of runs that they have scored, it's for the first time that it's the highest number of runs scored by number 3, number 4, number 5 in a single World Cup for India. So everybody has contributed immensely. There was Jadeja who stood out, Kuldeep stood out in between. The fast bowling brigade, we don't have to say anything about it. The batsmen have played well. It's just one of those days. Yes, the one thing they probably will question is the selection of shots initially by both the openers. That was something that could have been avoided. They have been giving us great starts in the power play, but those 2 shots, I don't think they were needed. Especially Rohit, I think got out like this in the previous game as well. He had milked the bowler for 11 or 12, and then on 46 or 45, he went for a big shot again and was caught out. So those 2 things could have been avoided, and you never know. I mean, in hindsight, things could have been different.
Right. It may have been a bad day for Rohit today, Bimal Soni, but what about his contribution as a captain throughout this tournament? Because several cricketing greats have come out to say that while other performances were seeing on the field, you saw Virat Kohli, you saw Mohammad Shami, there was Shreyas Iyer, but a lot of them also attributed the changed outlook of Team India to what Rohit Sharma has brought to the table.
I think Rohit has done a fantastic job. He has brought the collective spirit in the team. He designed jobs for the people concerned. He knew what a person can do, what his limitations are and what is his strengths. So I think Rohit, with his 15 years experience in international cricket, did a very good job. And as I said earlier on, today was a bad day of cricket for the Indian side. And especially for Rohit, who should have won the game today. But unfortunately, we are on the wrong side.
Where do you see Rohit Sharma going on from here on? Because one of the fans that our reporters were speaking to earlier said that, Virat Kohli is maintaining his fitness, so he might have another World Cup left in him. But for Rohit Sharma, it seems to be highly unlikely. What do you think?
It is his individual decision. I think he's fit enough to play for 2-3 years. And if he maintains his fitness, he may be available for the next World Cup. But as a cricketer, as a batsman, as a fielder, he's not wrong. He's not as brilliant as Virat Kohli, but he's definitely not substandard. And he deserves to be in the team for some time, till he feels that he has to retire. He is intelligent enough to leave the game when he feels that he is not fit.
Okay, Karan Ambardar, for you, who would be the best player in the Indian squad in this tournament?
I think for me, the player of the tournament, not just Indian team, the overall player of the tournament has to be Mohammad Shami. The way he has bowled, he's just every match he's come in and every ball that he bowls in, you feel that he's going to take a wicket. Started out like that today as well in his first over. And he's just played 7 matches and become the highest wicket taker. So Mohammad Shami for me was a standout performer. Kohli, of course, came into his own in this World Cup and stamped his authority, broke Sachin Tendulkar's record. These 2 guys are the standout performers for me. Both of them are, I think, going to win awards tonight.
Bimal Soni, if you were to pick the next World Cup squad, which of the players present in this team do you see making the cut?
I think most of them will do it, but maybe 3, 4, 5. How they play in next 3 years, how they keep up their fitness, and how they play is to be seen. But otherwise, this is a very good team which could continue for another 1 or 2 years till somebody gets unfit.
If you could just give us some names, sir.
A couple of seniors.
If you could just give us some names, because going into the tournament, there was a lot of hype around Shubman Gill. Initially, he was ruled out because of dengue, but we haven't really seen any outstanding stellar performances from somebody who seems to have a lot of potential.
Shubman Gill has played good this season.
Yeah.
But our expectations from him went very high. And he's still only 23, 24. So he also has pressure. He did so well in the whole season that in the World Cup he came under pressure. But I think he's our future. So there's no doubt of his being dropped, except that he has to mature enough to see how to get runs at the right time, right place, and how to restrain his strokes when he has to play for the team.
Right, Karan, quick, 20 seconds. Yes, you
Yeah,
want to
I
say
just know that Shubman Gill has played very well, actually. He missed out on the century. He's in the top 5. He's the only one who's not scored a century, but he scored some pretty handy 50s. He was looking solid for a century in the previous match. He walked out because of cramps. And of course, he's the future of the Indian cricket team. So let's not pull him down. It's just one off, 23. He's the highest run getter in this season in one-day internationals.
Yes.
So ranking number 1. So he's a great player.
And
we should not judge somebody by one match.
And one of the many who will carry Indian fans' hopes in the next World Cup and probably several other tournaments in between. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. It has been a collective heartbreak for cricketing fans, but India's performance gives us a lot to celebrate. Here is what the cricket fans said after the match.
बहुत अच्छा खेले, पर ठीक है, अब ये गेम है और गेम में कोई हारता है कोई जीतता है, परंतु हमें इस बात की खुशी है कि आज इतने बड़े स्टेडियम में ऐसा मैच हुआ, इतने सारे लोगों के बीच में मैच हुआ और यहाँ पर भी हमारी जो RW है रंजन नगर की, उन्होंने भी यहाँ पर ये पूरा ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया, बड़ी स्क्रीन ऑर्गेनाइज़ की और यहाँ पे लोग इकट्ठे हुए और एक उत्साह के साथ मैच देख रहे थे। थोड़ा उदास होकर जाएंगे, परंतु फिर वापस जीतेंगे, हम सुनिश्चित जीतेंगे।
Australia had very good players like Maxwell, Bolt and Lubricants. So I don't know why they lost in the finals with an easy team. I'm not sure it was so easy, but I'm very sad in the finals. They could have just lifted up the World Cup.